Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously fascinating journey into the unknown. We're going to keep the science simplified and stick purely to the science facts as we look at some incredibly common things science still can't explain. I mean, we live in an amazing era, right? We've got self-driving cars, supercomputers sitting right in our pockets. We've even mapped the entire human genome. But there's this brilliant paradox quite literally sitting at the ends of our arms. Despite all our wild technological advancements, we still do not definitively know the true evolutionary purpose of our very own fingerprints. Okay, let's dive into this. We often walk around with this illusion of modern knowledge, kind of just assuming that if we encounter something every single day, the scientific community must have it completely figured out. Well, today's explainer is going to humble us a bit. We are going to explore everyday phenomena that continue to totally baffle the experts. To do this, we're taking a sort of zoom-out journey today. Our agenda is simple. First, mysteries of the human body. Second, unsolved medical enigmas. Third, unexplained animal intelligence. And fourth, bizarre Earth phenomena. We'll start intimately at our fingertips and zoom all the way out to the absolute extremes of our planet. So, Section 1, Mysteries of the Human Body. The puzzle at our fingertips. Now, we actually know a whole lot about how fingerprints form. Back when you were a fetus in the womb, they were one of your earliest defining features. The unique designs are basically carved into your fingertips by the pressure of amniotic fluid, combined with how fast your fingers are growing. It's this beautifully complex physical process, which means it isn't purely genetic. That's right, identical twins do not share the same fingerprints. But the how isn't the mystery here. The mystery is the why. There are two prevailing theories here, and they're pretty completely different. Theory 1 suggests fingerprints are all about improved grip. They essentially act like treads on a car tire, helping us hold on to and throw things. But Theory 2? That one suggests they exist for tactile sensation, meaning they enhance our sense of touch by helping us feel micro vibrations and textures. Both theories make total sense, and both actually have evidence backing them up, yet there is still zero concrete scientific consensus proving which one is the real reason we developed them. It just brilliantly illustrates how the most familiar things are often the absolute most mysterious. Section 2, Unsolved Medical Enigmas. The unknown within our health. Zooming out from our fingers to our overall biology, let's talk about a heartbreaking disease that so many of us have unfortunately encountered, Alzheimer's. While we know that some cognitive decline just happens naturally as we age, the rapid, devastating decline of Alzheimer's is absolutely not a normal part of getting older. Today, the most common theory links it to a mix of age, genetics, and lifestyle factors, like shift work disrupting your sleep cycle. But the exact root biological cause, that remains completely unknown. When scientists try to track this disease, they look at two main culprits. On one side, we have amyloid beta plaques. These are proteins that fail to absorb properly in the brain, so they clump together, creating toxic plaques that literally cause massive holes in brain tissue. On the other side, we have tau proteins. These also fail to absorb, but instead they tangle up and cause cell death. But here's the massive mystery. Recent medications specifically designed to destroy those amyloid plaques haven't always produced positive results. And that has forced scientists to step back and ask a massive question. Are these plaques the actual root cause of Alzheimer's, or are they just a byproduct of a deeper, completely unknown trigger? And that brings us to another wild medical staple that we rely on all the time without fully understanding it, the placebo effect. At its core, it is pure suggestibility. It's the phenomenon where the mind believes a treatment is real, and as a direct result, the body actually follows suit and experiences real positive physical changes. The leading theory is that this anticipation of healing triggers the brain to release endorphins. But despite decades of really rigorous study, the exact neurological mechanisms behind this incredible mind-body connection remain a total mystery. But here's the crazy part. Our entire modern medical testing system is built entirely around it. Let's walk through a double-blind placebo study. Imagine you're testing a brand new stomach pain medication. You take 100 people and divide them in half. 50 get your real drug and 50 get a sugar pill, literally a pill that does nothing. But both groups believe they're taking the real medicine. Now, if 25 people in that placebo group suddenly feel better just because they thought they would, your actual medicine has to beat that 25% benchmark just to be deemed legally effective. It is a staggering reality that life-saving modern medicine fundamentally relies on competing against an effect we can't even explain. Section 3. Unexplained Animal Intelligence. Nature's Hidden Navigators. Okay, let's zoom out again.
leaving the human body and heading into the wild. Now, we all know why animals migrate. They do it to find food, to breed, or to escape freezing winters. But the how is the real superpower here. Just think about it. We humans have GPS, we have Google Maps, we have self-driving cars, and we still get lost driving to a new restaurant. Yet an animal can travel thousands of miles to an exact, specific location year after year with pinpoint accuracy.
One of the only clues we have to explain this is magnetoreception. Recent studies have proven that some bird species, like pigeons, can literally sense the Earth's magnetic fields to figure out their direction. It's almost like a scientist putting a pigeon in a lab and asking, "Hey, do you feel anything?" And the pigeon just goes, "Yeah, north." It's incredible. But honestly, this discovery just opens up a massive box of questions. How on earth do their tiny brains process this magnetic map? And more importantly, how many other hidden superpowers are out there in the animal kingdom that we just haven't stumbled upon yet? Speaking of superpowers, you have to meet Physarum polycephalum, better known as slime mold. If you've ever gone for a hike in a damp forest, you have probably stepped right past this yellow-green goo without a second thought. It's a single-celled, multinucleated protist. But here is the kicker, and this is wild. It has 0 neurons, 0 nervous system, and absolutely 0 brain matter. It is essentially just a pulsing blob of jelly. And yet, it's on our list because this literal brainless goo might just be smarter than us. Just look at these feats. Slime mold can consistently solve complex mazes. It does this by filling the entire space, finding the food, and then retracting every part of itself except the single most efficient path. In one incredibly famous study, it perfectly recreated the efficiency of the Tokyo subway network. It can anticipate recurring events, it demonstrates physical memory. Scientists think it processes information through chemical signals, basically creating a brain network without an actual brain. It is so efficient that it's literally inspiring modern robotics and computer algorithms right now. Section 4. Bizarre Earth Phenomena. The extremes of our planet. For our final zoom out today, let's look at the massive ecosystems of our planet. We're diving straight into bizarre Earth phenomena, and we're going to start by sinking deep underwater into an area so profoundly isolated it feels like an alien planet, the Twilight Zone. The key thing to understand here is the depth. The Twilight Zone sits between 200 and 1,000 meters below the ocean's surface. Down there, the pressure is crushing. It's too dark for any sort of plant life or photosynthesis, but it's not totally pitch black either. Because of the sheer physical barriers, the pressure, the insanely specialized equipment you need, the enormous cost, it remains one of the least explored habitats on Earth. And the creatures that manage to live there, they are wildly bizarre. In fact, the fish down there basically got so fed up with the dark that they evolved bioluminescence just to create their own organic light. Get this. Marine biologists speculate that there may be more fish in the Twilight Zone alone than all other fish on the entire Earth combined. That is a staggering, almost unbelievable amount of life. And what's truly mysterious is the impact this massive, unexplored ecosystem has on us up here. Marine ecosystems at this level play a vital role in carbon storage, which directly regulates the Earth's climate. Yet we know shockingly little about how this massive underwater machine actually works. Let's rocket from the deep ocean all the way up into the sky to discuss something truly terrifying: ball lightning. People have been seeing this phenomenon since the 1600s, and back then, terrified witnesses literally described it as smelling like sulfur and being the work of the devil. And honestly, when you look at what it does, you can kind of see why. It's described as a glowing, floating sphere that can be as small as a marble or literally feet across. It comes in white, yellow, orange, or blue. It floats slowly through the air. It's been reported to pass right through solid walls and closed windows, and it'll either just vanish in total silence or violently explode with a massive bang. If you saw this floating toward you in your living room, you'd probably think you were losing your mind. But scientifically, it remains a complete unsolved puzzle. Why? Simply because it is so incredibly rare and wildly unpredictable, making it nearly impossible to replicate or study in a proper controlled lab environment. Scientists can't exactly just order up some ball lightning for a Tuesday morning experiment. They're forced to rely on witness testimonies and viral cell phone videos. Because of that, the running theories that it's a ball of plasma, burning silicon particles, or shifting electromagnetic fields remain incredibly vague and entirely unproven. So let's see how all of this builds to our ultimate conclusion. We've talked about our bodies, our minds, the animals, the deep oceans, and the skies. But let's look at the universe itself.
That 95% you're seeing, that represents the amount of our entire universe that is made up of dark matter. 95%. We have massive space telescopes, we have stations orbiting the planet, and yet, modern science still has absolutely no idea what dark matter actually is.
It's profoundly humbling, isn't it? For all our amazing technology, the universe is just brimming with secrets. We don't know what happened to Venus to make it so toxic. We spend a third of our entire lives asleep, and yet we still don't definitively know why we dream. And we live in a universe mostly made of a substance we can't even identify. Science is an incredible tool, but honestly, it's the unanswered questions that make the pursuit of knowledge so incredibly exciting. So I'll leave you with this. If we don't even fully understand our own fingerprints, what other hidden mysteries are sitting right in front of us, waiting to be discovered every single day? Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning everything, and I'll see you next time.